I was under the hood of my Camaro at 11:30 on a Tuesday night when I heard my wife Jennifer laughing like a hyena through the kitchen window. The garage door was cracked open just enough to catch every venomous word floating out from her phone call. "Oh my God, Lisa, you should see him right now." Jennifer's voice carried that particular brand of cruelty she reserved for her girl squad. "He's out there playing mechanic again. Grease under his fingernails, thinking he's some kind of blue-collar hero." I froze, wrench halfway to the carburetor. 20 years of marriage, and she was talking about me like I was the neighborhood joke. No, seriously. He thinks fixing cars makes him masculine or something. Meanwhile, David's been texting me about our weekend getaway. Her voice dropped to a conspiratorial whisper. "The spa trip? That's just our cover story. David booked us that lakeside cabin upstate." My hands went numb. David, her boss at the PR firm. The guy who wore $1,000 suits and drove a Tesla. The guy who'd been a little too friendly at company parties. Trust me, girls, by the time I'm done with this midlife crisis, Tom won't know what hit him. He's so pathetic, he probably thinks I'm actually going to some wellness retreat with you three. Lisa's cackle echoed through the speakerphone. "Jennifer, you're terrible. What if he finds out?" "Please, Tom's about as sharp as a bowling ball. He spends his evenings in that garage pretending he's still the tough guy from the old neighborhood. Meanwhile, I'm planning my exit strategy." I set the wrench down carefully, my mind racing. Exit strategy. The spa weekend was this Friday, 3 days away. "The best part," Jennifer continued, "is that I've been documenting everything. His sad little attempts at romance, the way he still thinks we're some fairy tale couple. I showed David the text Tom sends me. All that I love you, babe, garbage." We were cracking up. My wife was sharing our private messages with her lover, making fun of me for telling her I loved her. You know what David said? He said Tom's like one of those old dogs that doesn't realize nobody wants to pet him anymore. The three women erupted in laughter. My Jennifer, the woman I'd supported through college, who I'd worked double shifts to help launch her career, who I'd built this life with brick by brick, was treating our marriage like a comedy show. Anyway, I should go. Tom will be done playing Garage Monkey soon, and I need to act like the loving wife for a few more days. The call ended. I heard her footsteps moving toward the stairs, probably heading up to bed in the guest room where she'd been sleeping for the past month. "Need space to think," she'd said. Now I knew what she'd been thinking about. I stood there in the dim garage light, surrounded by the tools my father had passed down to me, the same tools that had helped me build the IT consulting business that paid for Jennifer's designer clothes and spa weekends. The same hands she was mocking had worked themselves raw to give her everything she wanted. But here's the thing about being underestimated your whole life. You learn to use it as a weapon. I walked back into the house, washed the grease off my hands, and sat down at my computer. 25 years in IT had taught me a few things about information gathering, and if Jennifer wanted to play games, well, she'd picked the wrong opponent. By 3 a.m, I had a complete picture. Bank statements, credit card records, text message backups, email threads. Jennifer and David had been planning this for months. The spa story was just the latest lie in a web of deception that included secret credit cards, a joint account I didn't know about, and plans to clean out our savings. But the real kicker was the group chat I found on her laptop, the one she'd forgotten to log out of. Months of messages between Jennifer and her 3 best friends. Lisa, the spa owner who was supposed to be her alibi, Amanda, the lawyer who was apparently helping with divorce strategy, and Rachel, the social media influencer who'd been documenting my pathetic husband moments for her followers. They had screenshots of my texts, photos of me working in the garage with mocking captions, even recordings of conversations I'd thought were private. I was their entertainment, their cautionary tale about settling for less. The group chat had a name, Project Upgrade, because that's what David was, Jennifer's upgrade from the blue-collar guy who'd outlived his usefulness. I closed the laptop and leaned back in my chair. 20 years of marriage, and I was Project Upgrade's punchline. Well, Jennifer always said I had no sense of humor. Time to prove her wrong. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. Thursday morning, Jennifer bounced down the stairs with the kind of fake enthusiasm she used to reserve for client presentations. She was wearing her casual outfit, the kind of casual that cost more than most people's rent. "Morning, honey." She planted a quick kiss on my cheek, the same mechanical gesture she'd been giving me for months. "I'm so excited about this weekend. The girls and I really need this spa time." I looked up from my coffee, giving her my best clueless husband smile. "That's great, babe. You deserve some relaxation. Work's been crazy lately." "Oh, you know how it is. David's been pushing everyone hard on the Morrison account." She didn't even flinch saying his name. But this weekend will be perfect. Just us girls, no phones, complete digital detox. No phones. Right, except for the burner phone I'd found the receipt for, hidden in her purse. Sounds amazing. Hey, I was thinking while you're gone, maybe I'll finally organize the garage. Get all my tools sorted out properly. Jennifer's smile tightened just a fraction. That's nice, Tom. Very productive. She grabbed her purse and headed for the door, but I wasn't done with my performance yet. Oh, and Jennifer, I called after her. I transferred some money into your account yesterday for spa expenses. Didn't want you to worry about anything. She turned back, and for a moment I saw something flicker in her eyes. Surprise? Guilt? It was gone too fast to tell. That's sweet of you. Thank you. Anything for my wife. The door closed behind her, and I allowed myself a small smile. She'd find out about that money transfer soon enough, along with a few other surprises I'd prepared. See, Jennifer had made one crucial mistake in her planning. She'd assumed I was stupid, but stupid doesn't build a successful IT business from nothing. Stupid doesn't spend 25 years learning every digital system, every security protocol, every way information moves through the modern world, and stupid definitely doesn't have access to every account, every password, every digital footprint of a marriage. I spent Thursday implementing what I'd started calling Operation Punchline. First, I changed every password on every shared account, not to lock her out, but to lock her in. Every transaction she made over the weekend would be tracked, documented, and stored. Then I made some calls. My old friend Pete from the boxing gym had connections everywhere. Guys who'd gone into private investigation, security, even a few who worked in hospitality. By Thursday afternoon, I had eyes and ears at the lakeside resort where Jennifer and David were really going. But the real masterpiece was the money transfer I'd mentioned. I'd moved $5,000 into Jennifer's account, all right, along with a little digital tracking software that would monitor every purchase, every location, every time she used that card. She wanted to document my pathetic moments. Two could play that game. Friday morning came with the kind of artificial cheerfulness that made my teeth ache. Jennifer was packed and ready, designer weekend bag in hand, looking like she was heading off to a magazine shoot instead of a spa weekend. I'll miss you, she said, giving me another one of those mechanical kisses. Miss you too. Have fun with the girls. Lisa pulled up in her Mercedes, the same Lisa who'd been cackling about my patheticness on the phone. She honked twice, and Jennifer practically skipped out the door. I watched from the window as they drove away, Jennifer already on her phone, probably texting David about their real plans. The house felt different with her gone. Quieter, but also somehow cleaner, like removing a source of poison from the air. I poured myself another cup of coffee and opened my laptop. Time for Phase 2. The tracking software was already working. Jennifer's first purchase, gas station, highway north toward the mountains. Exactly the opposite direction from the spa Lisa supposedly owned. Purchase 2, lingerie store, expensive stuff. The kind she used to buy for me, back when she still pretended to care. Purchase 3, liquor store, premium champagne. I screenshotted everything, building my case one receipt at a time, but tracking was just the beginning. While Jennifer was off playing house with David, I had work to do. Real work. I started with the group chat. Project Upgrade had been busy during Jennifer's drive, and the messages were pure gold. Rachel. OMG Jen, you look amazing. David's going to lose his mind when he sees you. Amanda. Still can't believe Tom has no idea. Men are so clueless. Lisa. Just remember, if anyone asks, we're all at my spa. I've got the alibi covered. Jennifer. You guys are the best. I can't wait to be done with this charade. David's already talking about us getting a place together. I leaned back in my chair, letting that last message sink in. Not only was she cheating, she was planning to leave, and her friends were helping her do it. Well, if Jennifer wanted to upgrade her life, she was about to get more than she bargained for. I picked up my phone and started making calls. First to my lawyer, not for divorce papers, but for something much more interesting. Then to my accountant, then to a few other professionals who owed me favors from years of IT work. By Friday night, I had everything in place. Jennifer thought she was playing chess, moving pieces around a board I couldn't see. She had no idea I'd been playing a completely different game. Saturday afternoon, my phone buzzed with a text from Jennifer. Having amazing time at spa, so relaxing. Miss you. I stared at the message, then at my computer screen showing her actual location. Mountain View Lodge, 200 miles north, checked in under David's name. The hypocrisy was breathtaking. She was texting me about missing me while she was probably in bed with her boss. I took a screenshot of both the text and the location data, adding them to my growing collection. but I wasn't ready to play my hand yet. Jennifer wanted to keep up the charade. Fine by me. Miss you too, babe. Enjoy the mud baths. Her response came back immediately. LOL, you know me so well. Actually, Jennifer, I was starting to think I knew you better than you knew yourself. Saturday night was when things got interesting. The tracking software showed a flurry of activity, expensive restaurant, more champagne, late-night room service. Jennifer was living it up on our dime while texting me about early bedtimes and herbal teas. But the real entertainment was the group chat. The girls were getting sloppy, posting photos and updates like they were running some kind of covert operation. Rachel had posted a selfie with the caption, "Missing our girl tonight. Wish we could all be together." The photo showed her very clearly at a different location, some trendy bar downtown. So much for the spa weekend story. Amanda was even worse, posting legal advice memes with captions like, "When your friend finally gets the upgrade she deserves." And Lisa? Lisa was documenting her actual spa, posting photos of empty treatment rooms with captions about hosting the best girls' weekends. They were creating their own evidence, building a perfect case against themselves one social media post at a time. Sunday morning brought the pièce de résistance. Jennifer called me, and I could hear David's voice in the background before she shushed him. "Hi, honey. Just wanted to check in before our morning meditation session." "That's sweet of you. How's the spa treating you?" "Oh, it's incredible. Lisa really outdid herself. The facilities are amazing, and the treatments are so rejuvenating." In the background, I could clearly hear David saying something about room service breakfast. Jennifer covered the phone, but not quickly enough. "Sorry, what was that noise?" "Oh, that's just the meditation instructor. Very enthusiastic about mindfulness." I almost laughed out loud. David as a meditation instructor. Now that was comedy gold. Well, don't let me keep you from your enlightenment, babe. See you tonight?" "Actually, Tom, we decided to extend the weekend. The spa has this amazing Sunday evening package, and we just can't pass it up. I'll be home Monday morning instead." Monday morning. That gave them an extra night together. It also gave me an extra day to prepare. "Of course, honey. Take all the time you need." After I hung up, I sat in the quiet house and let myself feel the full weight of what was happening. 20 years of marriage, and she was lying to me with the casual ease of someone ordering coffee. The woman I'd loved, supported, and built a life with was treating our relationship like an inconvenience to be managed. But here's what Jennifer didn't understand about me. I wasn't the same guy she'd married 20 years ago. That guy had been naive, trusting, willing to take people at face value. This guy had learned a few things about the world, about people, and about what happens when you underestimate the quiet ones. I spent Sunday putting the finishing touches on my plan. Every piece of evidence cataloged and organized, every financial record documented, every lie cross-referenced and verified. But more than that, I'd been busy with some practical arrangements. You see, while Jennifer was off playing house with David, I'd been having some very interesting conversations with people who mattered. Her boss at the PR firm, for instance, had been very interested to learn about certain expense account irregularities I'd discovered. Apparently, those romantic dinners with David hadn't been entirely personal. Jennifer had been billing them to client entertainment. David's wife, yes, David had a wife, something Jennifer's group chat had mentioned exactly once, had also been curious about her husband's weekend activities, especially when I'd provided her with photographic evidence of his real location. And then there were the clients. Jennifer's precious Morrison account, the one that was supposedly keeping her so busy. I'd done some research on Morrison Industries. Turns out they had very strict morality clauses in their contracts. Something about maintaining professional standards and avoiding scandal. By Sunday night, I had a complete dossier on Jennifer's weekend activities, her affair, her lies, and her plans to leave me. But I also had something else, a comprehensive understanding of exactly how much damage her choices were about to cause. She wanted an upgrade. She was about to get one, all right. Just not the kind she was expecting. Monday morning arrived with the kind of crisp autumn air that makes everything feel sharp and clear. Jennifer texted at 8:30. "Heading home now. Can't wait to tell you about the amazing weekend." I was sitting in my kitchen, surrounded by printed copies of every piece of evidence I'd gathered, when I heard her car pull into the driveway at 10:15. She walked through the front door looking radiant, the kind of glow that comes from a weekend of feeling desired and wanted. Her hair was different, styled in a way she'd never worn it for me. She was wearing clothes I'd never seen before. "Tom, I missed you so much." She dropped her bag and came over to hug me, and I could smell expensive cologne mixed with her perfume. Not her cologne. "Welcome home, babe. How was the spa?" "Incredible. Lisa really knows how to put together a weekend. I feel like a completely new person." She did look like a new person. The question was, did she like who she was becoming? That's wonderful. I'm glad you had such a good time with the girls. Jennifer moved to the coffee maker, chattering about mud baths and yoga sessions and meditation retreats, spinning lie after lie with practiced ease. I watched her performance, marveling at how naturally deception came to her now. Oh, and Tom, I have some news. David offered me a promotion. Senior account manager with a substantial raise. Isn't that exciting? A promotion. From the man she was sleeping with. How convenient. That's great, Jennifer. You've worked hard for it. I have, haven't I? She turned to face me, and for a moment, I saw something calculating in her expression. Actually, there's something else. The new position might require some travel. Weekend conferences, client meetings in other cities. I hope that won't be a problem. More time with David, disguised as career advancement. She was already planning her next moves. Of course not. I want you to succeed. Jennifer smiled, the kind of smile that used to make my heart race. Now it just made me sad. You're the best husband a girl could ask for. That's when I decided the performance had gone on long enough. Jennifer, sit down. We need to talk. Something in my tone must have changed because her smile faltered slightly. Is everything okay? I reached for the folder I'd prepared and set it on the kitchen table between us. How was the Mountain View Lodge? The color drained from her face so quickly I thought she might faint. What do you mean? I opened the folder and pulled out the first photograph. Jennifer and David checking into the hotel Friday night, his hand on her lower back, her head on his shoulder. I mean, how was your romantic weekend with your boss while you lied to me about being at a spa? Jennifer stared at the photo like it was written in a foreign language. Tom, I can explain. Can you? Because I have a lot more evidence here, and I'm curious to see how you're going to explain all of it. I spread out more photos, them at dinner, walking hand in hand by the lake, David kissing her on the hotel balcony. Then came the financial records showing every purchase, every lie, every moment of their weekend together. You tracked me? Her voice was barely a whisper. I tracked my own money, Jennifer. Money you spent on lingerie and champagne while lying to my face about meditation and herbal tea. She was staring at the evidence like it was a snake that might bite her. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think. You're having an affair with David. You've been planning it for months. Your friends have been helping you lie to me and mock me behind my back. And now you're planning to leave me for him. I pulled out the group chat screenshots, watching her face crumble as she read her own words back to herself. Project upgrade, Jennifer? That's what I am to you? A project to be upgraded? Tom, please, let me explain. Explain what? How you've been sharing our private conversations with your lover. How you've been documenting my pathetic moments for your friends to laugh at. How you've been planning your exit strategy while I worked to support your career. Jennifer was crying now, but they weren't tears of remorse. They were tears of someone who'd been caught, someone whose carefully laid plans were crumbling around her. You don't understand. David and I, we connect on a different level. He appreciates me in ways that I what, Jennifer? That I don't? I supported you through college. I worked double shifts to help you start your career. I've spent 20 years trying to make you happy, and you repay me by treating our marriage like a joke. It's not a joke. It's just, we've grown apart, Tom. We want different things now. What we wanted was honesty. What we wanted was respect. What we wanted was for my wife not to lie to my face while she planned to abandon our marriage. I stood up, gathering the evidence back into the folder. Here's what's going to happen, Jennifer. You're going to pack your things and leave today. You can go stay with David or Lisa or any of your friends who thought this was so entertaining, but you're not staying here. Tom, wait. We can work this out. Marriage counseling or work it out. Jennifer, you've been planning to leave me for months. You've been mocking me to your friends and your lover. You've been stealing from our joint accounts and lying about your whereabouts. What exactly is there to work out? She was sobbing now, the kind of desperate crying that comes when someone realizes they've lost everything. I made a mistake. David doesn't mean anything to me. It was just, I felt trapped, and he made me feel special, and I got carried away. David doesn't mean anything to you? Then why were you planning to get a place together? Why were you talking about your exit strategy? Why were you billing romantic dinners with him to client entertainment? Her eyes widened. She hadn't realized I knew about the expense account fraud. How did you? I know everything, Jennifer. Every lie, every betrayal, every moment you thought you were so clever. And here's the thing. It's not just me you've been lying to. I pulled out one final document, a letter from Morrison Industries, terminating their contract with Jennifer's firm due to ethical concerns regarding account management. David's wife knows about your affair. Your boss knows about the expense account fraud, and your biggest client knows about your lack of professional standards. That promotion you mentioned? I don't think it's going to work out." Jennifer stared at the letter, her face pale and shocked. "You destroyed my career." "No, Jennifer. You destroyed your career. I just made sure the right people knew about it." She looked up at me with an expression I'd never seen before, pure hatred mixed with disbelief. "I never knew you could be so cruel." I looked back at her, this woman I'd loved for 20 years, this stranger who'd been systematically dismantling our life together while pretending to care about me. I learned from the best. Jennifer left that afternoon with 3 suitcases and the kind of bitter silence that comes from having nothing left to say. She didn't apologize. She didn't beg for forgiveness. She just packed her things with mechanical efficiency while I watched from the kitchen table. "This isn't over, Tom," she said as she loaded the last bag into her car. "Yes, it is. David will take care of me. He loves me." I almost felt sorry for her then. Almost. "David's getting divorced, Jennifer. His wife filed papers this morning. Think he's going to want to jump into another relationship right now, especially with the woman who cost him his marriage." She slammed the car door without answering and drove away. I stood in my driveway, watching her taillights disappear, and felt something I hadn't experienced in months. Peace. The house was quiet in a way it hadn't been for years. Not the tense quiet of unspoken resentments and hidden secrets, but the clean quiet of honest solitude. I made myself dinner. A real dinner, not the quick sandwiches I'd been eating while Jennifer picked at salads and complained about everything from the weather to my table manners. I opened a beer and sat on my back porch, looking out at the yard I'd maintained for 20 years. My phone buzzed with text messages throughout the evening, first from Lisa. "Tom, Jennifer told me what happened. You're being unreasonable. She made a mistake, but destroying her career was vindictive." I didn't respond. Then Amanda. "This is Amanda, Jennifer's friend. What you did was potentially illegal. Tracking someone without their consent could be considered stalking." I took a screenshot of that one. Amanda the lawyer, threatening me while she'd helped plan my wife's affair. The irony was delicious. Rachel sent a long message about forgiveness and second chances, conveniently forgetting her own role in documenting my pathetic moments for social media entertainment. I ignored them all. Tuesday brought the real consequences. Jennifer called me crying, barely coherent. "Tom, please, you have to help me. David won't take my calls. The firm put me on administrative leave pending an investigation. I don't have anywhere to go." "You have friends, Jennifer. The same friends who thought our marriage was so entertaining." "Lisa won't return my calls either. Neither will Amanda or Rachel. They're all acting like I'm toxic or something." Funny how quickly people distance themselves when the entertainment becomes a liability. That's not my problem anymore. "Tom, I'm your wife." "No, Jennifer. You're my soon-to-be ex-wife. There's a difference." She hung up on me. Wednesday, I got a call from David. His voice was shaky, desperate. "Tom, we need to talk. Man to man." "I don't think we have anything to discuss, David." "Look, I know you're angry, but Jennifer and I, it just happened. We didn't plan for it to go this far." "You didn't plan for it to go this far? David, you booked romantic weekends together. You were talking about getting a place together. You were helping her plan her exit from our marriage. That sounds pretty planned to me." "She told me you two were already having problems. She said the marriage was over in everything but name." "And you believed her? Even while she was lying to me about spa weekends and meditation retreats?" Silence on the other end. "David, here's some free advice. If someone will lie with you, they'll lie to you. Jennifer spent months lying to my face while planning to leave me. What makes you think she was being honest with you?" We love each other." "No, you don't. You love the excitement of sneaking around. You love feeling superior to the dumb husband who doesn't know what's happening. But love doesn't require lies and betrayal and expense account fraud." "The expense account thing was a misunderstanding. It was fraud, David, and now it's your problem, not mine." He hung up without saying goodbye. Thursday brought the divorce papers. Jennifer was asking for alimony, half of everything, and compensation for emotional distress. Her lawyer, not Amanda, interestingly enough, had crafted a narrative about a controlling husband who'd driven his wife to seek comfort elsewhere. I forwarded the papers to my own lawyer, along with my complete evidence file. Every photo, every financial record, every lie documented and cross-referenced. Friday afternoon, Jennifer's lawyer called mine. Apparently, they wanted to discuss a more amicable settlement. By the following Tuesday, we had an agreement. Jennifer would get nothing beyond her personal belongings and her car. In exchange, I wouldn't pursue charges for the expense account fraud or release the evidence of her affair to her professional network. She signed the papers without argument. A month later, I heard through the neighborhood gossip network that Jennifer was working at a small marketing firm in the suburbs, making a fraction of her previous salary. David had moved to another city, apparently deciding that a fresh start was better than dealing with the wreckage of his old life. Lisa's spa was struggling after several clients discovered her role in providing alibis for affairs. Amanda had quietly left her law firm. Rachel had lost several sponsorship deals when brands decided her content was too controversial. The group chat had gone silent. I was sitting in my garage on a Saturday afternoon working on the Camaro's engine when my neighbor Pete stopped by with a beer. "You doing okay, Tom? I know this whole thing with Jennifer was rough." I looked up from the carburetor I was rebuilding, my hands covered in the same grease Jennifer used to mock. "You know what, Pete? I'm doing better than I have in years." "Yeah? How's that?" I wiped my hands on a rag and accepted the beer. "Turns out, when you stop trying to please someone who doesn't respect you, you remember who you actually are." Pete nodded, understanding in the way that only old friends can. Jennifer always thought she was too good for this neighborhood, too good for regular people with regular jobs. She wanted to upgrade her whole life. And did she? I took a long drink of beer and looked around my garage, my father's tools, my projects, my space. She got exactly what she deserved, Pete, and so did I. That evening, I sat on my back porch watching the sunset, thinking about the past few months. Jennifer had called me cruel, vindictive, unreasonable. Her friends had accused me of being controlling and manipulative. Maybe they were right. Maybe the old Tom would have handled things differently. Maybe he would have tried counseling or forgiveness or some kind of reconciliation. But the old Tom had been a joke, a punchline in someone else's story. This Tom, the one who'd learned to stop underestimating himself, who'd discovered that quiet competence could be its own kind of power, this Tom was nobody's punchline. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Tom, this is Jennifer. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but I wanted you to know that I'm sorry. I made terrible choices and hurt someone who didn't deserve it. I hope someday you can forgive me." I stared at the message for a long time, thinking about forgiveness and second chances and the woman I'd loved for 20 years. Then I deleted it without responding. Some punchlines once delivered don't need a follow-up. The story was over, and for the first time in years, I was the one who got to write the ending.